explain my vote. So another bad bill. It's going to inherently allow for state adherence to many proponents and many aspects of all three models of the 287G agreement. The Trump administration has already given authority to ICE regarding access to very sensitive records.
That was Arizona State Senator Catherine Miranda, a Democrat, explaining the consequences of a bill that would require state agencies to share data about undocumented immigrants. Welcome to Notas. I am Elvia Diaz, and today, the immigration showdown at the state capitol.
This is outside of the legislature's authority. It should be at the governor's discretion whether the state and state agencies should work with ICE.
That bill that Senator Miranda is talking about is SB 1520, and it's part of a wave of anti-immigrant legislation moving through the Republican-controlled legislature. The far-right Freedom Caucus is feeling emboldened and energized by President Trump's aggressive immigration crackdown and by the billions of federal dollars now flowing into enforcement. The clash between Democrats and Republicans is fierce. Listen to this exchange between Senator Miranda and Senator Wendy Rogers, the sponsor of SB 1520, who was previously censored for her extreme remarks against political opponents and for her open association with white nationalists. Here's Miranda.
I mean, I've been scolded for bringing up racial profiling all the time, so I want to address that part of this committee. I won't do that. Instead, I'll let the record speak for itself. In March 2022, this body, the Republican-controlled Arizona Senate, voted 24-3 to censure Senator Rogers, not 24 Democrats. 11 of our own Republican colleagues voted for that censure. The censure resolution stated she engaged in conduct unbecoming of a senator and damaged the reputation of the Arizona State Senate. It was triggered by her speech praising white nationalist Nick Fuentes and calling for the public hanging of her political opponents. I'm not making accusations. I'm citing the official record of this chamber. Now that same elected official has brought us SB 1421, and I have to ask my Republican colleagues, after censuring Senator Rogers for embracing white nationalist ideology and making violent threats, how do we justify legislation she co-sponsors that systematically excludes immigrants from banking? I vote no.
Rogers fired back, but notably did not address her associations.
I will respond. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment is enshrined in our Constitution. And no matter how heinous someone's speech is, he or she has the right to say it. By impugning my character as someone who supported free speech and blurring that with this bill that I'm carrying is really a sad overreach of your own. And so I will say that with every fiber of my being, I will defend this country. I will defend freedom of speech. And I will call out what we have had here in this country, brick by brick. And so if someone is an unauthorized alien, this bill says that that person may not send remittances back to one's country. And the banks who do business with that individual will be held to account. That's a simple economic measure. And with that, I vote aye.
That exchange captures the dynamic that is playing out at the state capitol. Democrats have little power beyond exposing the consequences of these proposals, and so they're using the bully pulpit to explain what's at stake. Here are some other examples of the bills that they are considering. SB 1055, also sponsored by Rogers, would require law enforcement to notify ICE about the immigration status of an arrest. Another proposal directs an additional $20 million to cities and towns for expenses related to short-term detention holds for undocumented immigrants. You get that picture. Republicans do have the votes to send some of these immigration bills to Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs. She has vetoed similar legislation in the past, but remember that she is heading into a tough re-election later this year. In politics, can change the calculation. So will she stand firm, or will she sign a bill or two to get some Republican votes? Stay tuned. Stay tuned, because this is the beginning of a long and politically charged fight over immigration here in Arizona, a fight that will have consequences no matter what side of the aisle you're on. Please follow me and join my Substack community for analysis that you won't find anywhere else. Until next time.